Everyone, my name is Dhanna Estrada and I'm one of the group members of Group 3 and I'm here to present about a case scenario and an eco map. For our case scenario, 4 years ago, Mr. Ramos' family migrated from the Philippines to Canada in midsummer around June 21 of 2013. For now, they are residing in a 10-story apartment building with two bedrooms which is located in Mississauga. Before they moved here in Canada, the head of the family, Mr. Gregorio Ramos, 45 years old, is an engineer, while his wife, Mrs. Amelia Ramos, 41 years old, is a nurse at a public hospital. Now, Gregorio is working full time as a construction worker and part time cleaner at a restaurant. In addition, Amelia works part time as a caregiver for an elderly which is located near their place. She looks after their two children and does the household chores. The eldest is Christina, a 17-year-old girl which is currently at grade 12. She goes to school near their house in Mississauga and also works part-time in Tim Hortons. Their youngest is Daniel, a 3-year-old toddler who is healthy and goes to daycare. The Ramos family is active in Catholic church and community events. Gregorio works downtown Toronto and uses public transportation facilities. Amelia takes Daniel to daycare and when she has to work, while Christina goes to school by herself and she takes public transportation as well. Every Sunday is their family bonding time. Gregorio's father, Mr. Alfredo, 75 years old, is retired and living with his daughter Jessica, 36-year-old. They are residing in the Philippines. Mr. Alfredo was a smoker for 20 years and was diagnosed with bronchial asthma. Gregorio's mother, Mrs. Wilma, had a natural death 2 years ago at the age of 80. Amelia's father, Mr. Jose, deceased with hypertension at the age of 70. Amelia's mother, Mrs. Norma, a 65-year-old housewife, is healthy and living with her son, Wally, 38 years old nurse, and daughter-in-law, Steph, 37 years old housewife. Recently, Gregorio is experiencing shortness of breath, especially during physical activities, ongoing cough, and feels tired. He just thought that he is overworking, so he ignored his condition. But Amelia noticed her husband's symptoms and asked him if they can go and see the doctor. After doing series of tests, Gregorio was diagnosed with chronic obstructive pulmonary disease. The family is now trying to deal and cope up with the health problems they are now experiencing. For the structural category, as previously mentioned, the Ramos family is composed of married heterogeneous couple with two biological children. The father, Gregorio, 45 years old, is the breadwinner of the family. Meanwhile, the mother, Amelia, 41 years old housewife, works part-time to help the family in their expenses. The decisions in the family is made together by both the husband and the wife. The eldest daughter of the family, Christina, 17 years old, is active in school and sports. She is known to be kind hearted, caring, helpful, well disciplined, and intelligent. She also works part time to help the family. The youngest member of the family is Daniel, 3-year-old toddler who loves to play and interact with people around him and is obedient to adults. Upon moving to Canada, the family left their extended family in the Philippines. Gregorio's mother passed away 2 years ago, and his father, Mr. Alfredo, is living with Jessica, Gregorio's younger sister. Moreover, Amelia's father passed away 4 years ago, and her mother, Mrs. Norma, is living with Wally, Amelia's younger brother, and Steph, her sister-in-law. All living healthy in the Philippines. The Ramos family is Filipino in ethnicity. They were considered upper middle class family in the Philippines, and in Canada, the Ramos family is part of the middle class, earning about 5,500,000 annually, and 55. They are active in Catholic church and community events. They live in a friendly neighborhood, mostly populated by newly immigrants families like them. Every Sunday is their family day. They always go to church on Sundays and they go to the park and visit places like zoos and amusement parks. Now I'm gonna talk about the Ramos family's eco map. The Ramos family consists of the father, Gregorio, 45 years old, Amelia, 41 years old, Christina, 17 years old, and Daniel, 3 years old. So, for the eco map of the family and the church, they have the direction of energy. It's flowing in and out. For the school, for Christina, she have a tense relationship because sometimes it's stressful for her. For the community and the family, they have strong relationship because they're active. For the daycare, Amelia had a tense relationship for daycare, also Daniel as well. And for Gregorio's workplace, it was he also had tense relationship because it's stressful and it helped develop his disease, COPD as well. And for the hospital, the family have tense relationship for the hospital as well as the family doctor. But Gregorio have a weak relationship with the coworker. Amelia has tense relationship with his workplace, a little bit stressful. And overall, the family have strong relationship. And that will be all. Next would be the therapeutic questions and the ecogram that will be presented by Reza. Thank you.
Hello, my name is Reza Sheykhesmaeili. I'm one of the team members of Group 5 of our course. I would like to talk about ecogram and therapeutic questions today. So first about ecogram, I would like to separate our ecogram to different branches. First is about the man or the husband, and the other one is about wife or the lady in the family. So George is the man or is the husband at that house. George has her mom and her dad, well, Wilma and Alfredo. Alfredo passed away. Alfredo has bronchial asthma and COPD, and Wilma uh, passed away because of natural death at 80 years old. And the other hand, Amelia, or the wife, her father and her mother, Jules and Norma, they 70 years and 65 years. And now George has a sister and Amelia has brother and sister, which they are 38-year-old and 37-year-old, and George's sister is 36-year-old. Now this family, they have two children. One is Christina and one is Daniela. Christina has 17-year-old and Daniela is 3-year-old. So as you know, Danielle, the youngest one, loves to play and interact with people, and Christine is a teenage and she likes doing sports and some activities. This is about our ecogram and also about ecogram of family in one circle. So based on our PowerPoint and our presentation, we have 4 people on this circle: George, Amelia, Christina, and Daniela. And outside of them, there are a lot of parameters and items that can be stressor, and some of them can be help for this family, like hospital, Rome's family doctor, Rome's neighbors, and Daniel's daycare, Christian school, George co-workers, and Catholic church, and Christina's workplace. Those are items around this family which they can affect this family. So this family which they live together, but they need to work with these items around them and manage them and manage their life based on this. Uh, as far as therapeutic questions, we have some questions for this family. Well, according to College of Nurses of Ontario, CNO, it's important to gather necessary information in assessing the family, for which it means that when we want to assess a family, first we need to have some information about that. So this is our assessment to collect some data about this family. So for this, we need to ask some questions from this family, like, have you thought of asking your family and what they feel about your illness? Because as you know, there are some illnesses and diseases during these people. like father and grandpa. Well, can you elaborate me if there is something within your family that makes your problem better? We can make communication with this family and assist them and collect some information with these questions. Maybe there are some items that can be helpful for them. Some people, especially Filipino people, they are religious and they like church, going to church, and spiritual situation. This family are a Filipino family. So, in my opinion, church is very helpful for them, and it can be very helpful for them to make them release. And also, you can ask them, do you acquire support from your family, relatives, or within your community, and what kind of support? Some families, they can support each other members, or some communities, they can support each other. Well, and the last question that we can ask is, can you tell me the changes or problems you have observed during your illness, and does it affect your family activities? So by answering these questions, we can have some assessment information about this family to make our therapeutic, plans and then implementation. And the last one is our evaluation. Thank you very much and have a good day. Bye.
Hello everyone, my name is Zahra. I will be presenting the psychosocial consideration and commendation. The effect of living with COPD is very individual. Some may seem to adapt well, others find the experience devastating. The consequences are varying from altering day-to-day activity living to influencing a person's overall outlook on life. Some may experience stress or anxiety, depression, loss of control and independence, low self-esteem, frustration, irritability, and alteration in relationship. Expression of emotion is closely linked with dyspnea, and some patients may avoid emotion as an adaptive coping mechanism. This may result in patients living in an emotional straitjacket, which may then predispose or compound existing anxiety and depression in turn, leads to social isolation and an inability to participate in many activities of living. Next slide is about commendations. Commendations are one intervention nurses can use to empower patients and families in order to enhance the forming and maintenance of a collaborative relationship. They are actually statements of special praise that are specific to some aspects of patient or family functioning. In other words, commendations are observation of behavior that occur across time. So nurse is looking more for patterns rather than a one-time occurrence that is more likely can be offering of a compliment. Examples of commendations are appreciation and affection, positive communication, commitment, spiritual well-being. Appreciation and affection. The nurse should take time for Ramos family to compliment or praise of each member on a regular basis by letting them know of how valuable they are. This strengthens the family relationship bond. The Ramos family is showing much courage by living in a new country facing challenges with hope. Positive communication. The Ramos family maintains an open communication during dinner or going to sleep. They spend time talking or listening to every member. Commitment. This family spend their time every Sunday like going to church, even though it's 30 to 45 minutes drive from their home. Upon Gregory's diagnosis, even the family has been supportive to one another. Spiritual well-being. The family goes to church every Sunday and attends spiritual activities within their area. Socialization. Roma's family is active in community events. Even after Gregory's diagnosis, they have maintained good relationship with the community. Thank you. Now my classmate Amutha will present family care
Hi
plan.
everyone, I'm Amutha. I'm going to present the family nursing care plan. So here the nurse assigned for Ramos family organizes an interview and assesses the family needs, like coping mechanism, develop and implement goals, strategies that support functioning capabilities of the family. Next, the nurse asks Emilia and find out she feels depressed, easily agitated, distracted at work, and worried about the financial constraint as Gregorio is not working anymore and they don't have any support here in Canada and also back home financially. Next is assessment about Christina. The nurse find out Christina is experiencing difficulty adjusting in school activities due to her extra working hours. And about the family feels difficult coping with the situation. Next is the nursing diagnosis. According to the priority, the difficulty in breathing related to disease condition. Next is about the intervention. Psychological intervention like distraction therapy and relaxation can help the client. And then administer bronchodilators, expectorants, and analgesic according to the primary caregiver's advice. As we all know, one great factor that affects a family is illness, be it chronic or acute, can significantly alter a family's dynamic. A family experiences extreme stress physically and emotionally when illness affects one or more of its members. Next, nursing diagnosis. Ineffective family coping related to situational crisis as evidenced by verbalized inability of Emilia to meet the basic needs of the family. Desired outcomes are the family will demonstrate healthy coping strategies, the family will identify their strength, the family will develop improved methods of communication, they will identify and use available community resources for problem solving. The interventions are establish a balance between the family members and their outside environment, assist the family in strengthening their relationship, provision of significant health information to the family, and referral to community resources and services which are available for them, and help the family to establish and develop a daily routine to overcome this stressful situation. Thank you. Now my classmate Janice will be continuing with the third nursing diagnosis.
Everyone, my name is Janesse David. I'll be presenting the last nursing diagnosis, desired outcomes, interventions, question, and the conclusion. Last nursing diagnosis, fear and anxiety related to perceived threat of death. Desired outcomes, first, patient or the family will further acknowledge and discuss fears and concerns. Second, patient education involves not only teaching but also promoting learning by helping the patients and their family improve their knowledge, increase their self confidence, and take charge of the disease. Intervention first, assess the level of understanding of the family about the disease by what are their concerns or problems they have now in relation with the disease. What are the aspects of the illness that causing them the greatest and most immediate concern? And what are the strategies they are currently using to cope and live with the disease? Second intervention, acknowledge the fears and allowing verbalization of Gregorian family members' feelings. Third, provide opportunity for questions and answer them honestly. This will reduce any misperception of information and establish a nurse-client family relationship. And lastly, provide physical comfort since it is difficult to deal with emotional issues when experiencing extreme or persistent physical comfort. Any question? If not, we have a question to reflect. Do you think that the nurse or the nurses have done better with the Ramos family and why? Conclusion. Caring for a relative with COPD is a stressful experience with unique challenges related to the disease. Negative impacts of COPD on family members and patients' lives were diverse and related to physical health, emotional, social, and financial or employment dimensions. However, this can be overcome by the support system, open communication within the family, knowledge information regarding the disease and its impact to the individual or family, and proper referral to services that can be utilized in helping the family to cope up with the challenges. Thank you for listening to us and have a nice